In the last class, we learned how to simplify linear expressions, including parentheses, and so how do we change the signs and get rid of parentheses and group the like terms, and then simplify the expression. The reason we want to practice for that is because we are going to solve linear equations. And linear equations sometimes on the one side is very complicated. You have to simplify it first. Then you're able to solve it. And eventually you will simplify the linear equation by moving the term to the left to right, and eventually you will get a very simple form. Okay, let me show you how to do it. This is okay. For example, eventually you get the linear equation in the form like that: ax equals b. Then if you can get to that point, then the next one is x equals b over a. So divide both sides by a, then the left hand side just x, the right hand side just b over a. So this is the simplest equation you can get. Okay, for example, like a 2x equals 10, right? And so 2 times some unknown numbers is going to be 10. And of course, you can figure out, okay, I guess 2 times 5 10, so x equals 5. But what I want you to do is you divide both sides by 2. Okay, so this is how do we do that actually. Then, because if you divide both sides by the same number, you're not going to change the equation essentially. Okay, then 2 to it out, and 2 to it out. And you get x equals 5. Okay. Of course, we are not given function equations like this, simple equations. Now, sometimes we are given equations a little bit more complicated. We have more terms, and in general, here's the idea. So if we have equation a equals b, okay, a represents some algebraic linear expressions. Now, you can add another number or subtract another number from both to the both sides or from both sides. Okay, so you do not change the equation essentially. Okay, so this is important. But you can also multiply both sides by the same number. Okay, ka equals kb, and the k cannot be 0. Okay, so those are the basic formulas, ideas we're going to use. Okay, so here, for example, if we have 2x plus 3 equals 13, okay, 2x plus 3 equals 13. Now this is a little bit more complicated equation. The first step is, oh, I don't like 3 on the left hand side, and I wish I just wanted 2x, right? So how do you do that? You subtract both sides by 3. You have to subtract 3, okay? Subtract 3 from both sides, yeah. And then 3 is gone on the left-hand side, right? So you only have a 2x. But 13 minus 3, you get 10. Therefore, you can divide both sides by 2, and that is going to be 5. Now, think about that, okay? What you get here, the first equation is 2x equals 13 minus 3, right? So it looks like you move the term to the right-hand side, you change the sign. So that is really equivalent to saying that. So in the future, sometimes I will say, let's move the term from left to the right and change the sign. Why you change the sign? Actually, you subtract both sides by the same term. So the left side, that term is gone. So the right-hand side, you have a negative minus that term, right? So more abstract way is if you have a plus c equals b, right? Then what they do is that you subtract the c from both sides. then left-hand side is A. So right side B of B minus C. So it looks like you move C to the right-hand side, you change the sign. Actually, what you get here is you subtract the C from both sides, and you eliminate the C from on the left-hand side, and you put a negative C on the right-hand side. Okay, so the above equation, these two equations are equivalent. Okay, so you get from here to here. It looks like, you know, if I did not tell you how did I get C on the right hand side, it looks like, oh, I moved C to the right hand side and change the sign. Okay, what I did actually is you subtract the C from both sides. Okay, so now you can have a 2x plus 5 equals 25. For example, right now I can say that I'm going to move 5 to the one side, and then I have to change the sign and put a negative, okay? And then equals 20, okay? Then you divide both sides by 2, then x equals 20 over 2, it's 10, okay? So, actually I subtracted 5 from both sides. Subtracted 5 from both sides, then 25 minus 5, the left-hand side is 5 minus 5, right? Then 5 is gone. Okay, just it. So that's all about the basic ideas of when you divide. Yeah, here's another thing. See, if you have a 2x equals 20, right? Right, I say divide. Actually, you can multiply. P can be any number. Multiply 1/2 on both sides. So 1/2 times 2x equals 1/2 times 20. Okay, so 2 over 2 is gone, just x. And the left-hand side, 20 multiplied by 1/2 is 10. Okay? So we are using the formula here. A equals B is the same as Ka equals Kb. Okay, and the K is not equal to 0 anymore. That's another formula, right? So those are the basic rules we should know in order to simplify linear equations. Okay. All right. So let's do the next problem. Okay. We have negative 3x plus 20 equals equals 11. Okay. In order to solve the equation, we have to put the like terms on the one side. Okay, there are only two type of terms here: constant and the term containing x. So those terms containing x usually is put on the left hand side. Those terms containing just constant. Constants like no x step, and then we'll put on the right hand side. So so now you can move around, right? You can move around. It's move 20 to the left hand side, okay? To the right hand side, yeah. 10 minus 20, okay? 1 minus, actually subtract 20 from both sides, okay? So now you get negative 20, negative 10. So next step, the next step, you will, the next step, you have to divide both sides by negative 3, right? Divide both sides by negative 3 is the left-hand side is just, if you skip the steps, then just x, okay? It's negative 10 over negative 3, okay? Then that is going to be, after you simplify, it's 10 over 3. Now, you don't need to write 3 and 1/3, okay? Because we, in advanced mathematics, we prefer a proper fraction. Just one thing, because if you write 3 and 1/3, then this is not good notation in middle school and high school, because it looks like a 3 times 1/3, which is not, right? You know that. So we don't write like this. Right? It's easy to be confused. So we avoid writing such numbers. Okay. All right. So now x equals 10 over 3. Okay. So let's do you have a question? I have a
Why is it 10 minus 20? It should be 11 minus 20. It equals 9.
Sorry. I wrote the. So I copied. You're right. I copied the wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a. Sorry, I didn't pad. Yeah. This is mistakes, right? It's a negative. Yeah. This is a negative 9. Okay. So negative 9 over negative 3 equals 3. Okay. Sorry for that. So this is integer. Okay. Yeah. See, it's easy to make mistakes. Okay. So when you check the answer at the end, okay, when you check the answer at the end, right, you find out that's wrong. You know, if an answer does not match with the answer key, you have to go back to look at. Okay. But if you don't show the details, you probably don't. You know, even your parents cannot tell where's the mistakes. So right. So now it's clear. Yeah. I just copied the number. I know I copied. It's supposed 10, 11, not 10, right? All right, so let's look at the next problem. Negative x plus 11 equals 7. Okay, now let's do this problem. Sometimes, okay, some students prefer x term as positive sign, not negative sign. So it's okay, you know, you can move 7 to the left-hand side, okay? If you move 7 to the left-hand side, you will get something like that, okay? Then you get negative x plus 4 equals 0. Then you can move negative x to the right-hand side. So 4 equals negative x to become positive x. So 4 equals x, x equals 4 is the same. Then that's the answer, okay? X equals 4 is the answer. So it's not nearly necessary x should be on the left side, but traditionally, you know, x is on the left-hand side and constant on the right-hand side. Okay. Okay. I'm going to ask you to do the next problem. 1 minus 5x equals 12. Okay. Yeah, please do this problem. You may get a fraction. Please mute yourself. Okay. Oh. All right, so you can move 5x to the right-hand side. You can keep a 5x on the left-hand side, right? So you can, yeah, but then you move 1 to the right-hand side. So you got 12 minus 1. And when you move the term across the equality sign, you have to change the sign. Okay, the reason is I already told you, you subtract 1 from both sides, you know. So that's why 12 minus 1, the left-hand side, 1 is gone, okay? And then you can put 11 here, okay? But I want you to start from another line, because equations, it's not like a simplifying an algebraic expression. You can keep writing equality. So you have to start a new line to put a new equation, okay? So you get negative 5x equals 11. What is next step? Next step is you divide both sides by negative 5. So if you divide, you know, if you don't want to skip that step, you have to write it in this way, okay? And then negative 5 cancel out, right? So you're going to add x here, and then you put the negative sign aside, so negative 11 over 5. Okay? Yeah, I think this is it's okay. You don't need it to write a 2 and 1/5. So William, well, yeah, keep making mistakes, but yeah. If you have to write 2, then to mix the fraction, then it'll be 2 and 1/5. Okay, but it's better just to write down this single fraction. I suggest you that, okay? It's simple, then it's easy to read it. Okay. Hey, now let's practice. I don't want you to make a mistake. You understand how to do the problem. So questions, how to avoid making mistakes. Okay, let's try another problem. Okay, this is a 3 minus 2x equals, just do one more problem and then we'll look at the new type of problems. Okay, equals 7. Okay, let's do this again. Okay, and anyone who is online also should show me the answers. Okay. Yes.
X equals 2.
Double check your work. Okay. Are you working on the problem? Earlier done?
Negative 2x.
You see? Okay, don't be in too hurry. You just be careful when you write through the problem. Okay? Yeah. Something got 2, something get -2, maybe something get completely different answers. Okay.
Yeah,
So it's very challenging, to avoid, this is a very challenging task to avoid making mistakes if you know how to do it. Okay, so negative 2x equals 7 minus 3, which is 4. Then you both sides divide by -2. Then you get 4 over -2, that will be -2. What's going on here? All right, so this is our one. Now let's do another type of problem. Both sides contain x. Okay, so I have 1 minus 5x equals 7x plus 9, for example. So now you have a little bit more complicated equation. Okay, a little bit more complication. And how do you simplify it? So alike terms should be moved together. Okay, put together. So you have a 5x, 7x, right? So that should go to the same side. Now some students decide move 5x to the right-hand side. That's okay, okay? If you move 5x to the right-hand side, then you get 7x plus 5x, okay? But you can also move 7x to the left-hand side, okay? Let's go that way. And then at the same time, you can move a constant to the right-hand side. So you draw this symbol, okay? So negative 5x minus 7x equals 9 minus 1. Because when you move 1 to the right-hand side, you have to change the sign. Okay? This is the first step. Don't skip that. I want to see. Yes? -2. We don't know yet, okay? All right, so -5, -7.
Just because this makes no sense.
Come on.
No, you.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. Yeah, you moved alike term together. So 7x should be moved to the left-hand side. 1 moved to the right-hand side. Okay. Then you change the sign. So 7x becomes -7x. So -5 minus 7 is what? -5 minus 7.
Negative 12. Does x equal 20?
-5 minus 7. What is the answer?
That's negative 12x. If negative 12x equals 8.
So negative 12x, okay? 12x, because -5 minus 7, you can take a negative 7 out. You can 7 plus 5 because they have the same sign. Just add them together, put a negative sign in front of that. Okay? So that is negative 12. And the 9 minus 1, everybody knows 8. Okay? Then you divide both sides by -12. And then you have to simplify it. Okay? How do you simplify it? You get a common. You have to factor 8. 8 is 2 times 4. 12 is 3 times 4. 4 canceled out. You get 2/3. Hey, Alex got it. Right answer. Good. Negative 2/3. Benjamin. Okay. So now, yeah, let's go over this problem. You move all the terms, like terms to one side, right? And finally, you get a simple equation, but you still face the problem how to do -5 minus 7. Not everybody can figure out that. Okay, so this is a, when you, let's say 5 minus 7, how do people do that? People, okay, 7 is larger. So put a negative sign here, 7 minus 5. That's going to be -2. Okay, that's how do we do that, right? If 7 is larger than 5, you see? So -5 minus 7, then they both have a negative sign. So you just take a negative sign out, just add these two numbers together. It's going to be -12. Okay, so be careful about the computation. Addition, involves negative signs. Okay, and similarly, like 11 minus 19, right? 19 is large, right? And then you have to put a negative sign, and 19 minus 11. Then, okay, 19 minus is 8, so it's -8. That's how do we do that, right? How do we get a negative number? Okay. Okay, so here's -x plus 7 equals 4x minus 2. Okay, please do this problem. Usually you get fractions unless I very carefully choose those numbers. Okay, if I randomly write down the numbers, you're going to get a fraction in answer. And when you write a fraction, Benjamin, now please do not like the mixed type. Just write down the one proper fraction. Okay, integer over another integer. Okay, you have answer? 9/5. Something like 9/5. Yeah?
1.8.
No, don't use a decimal point. 9/5.
Oh, 3.
Fraction, we like a fraction, okay? Here. Are you still working on this one?
Yeah, I got 3.
You got 3. Great.
3 right? Yeah, pretty sure. Go for
Okay, don't use a decimal form, okay? For here. We just, yeah. How do you get 3?
What? Well, then you move the 7 over there and it's -9.
Any different answers than 9/5 and the 3? -2/3, great. Okay. Clyde, do you have answer? No, you don't have answer. All right, no answer is answer. Okay, that's all right. So those 7 and the -2, those are the constants, right? So let's move to the left hand side. So -x, I keep it here, 7. So you change the sign. Don't forget, right? You change it. Actually, what I did is actually add a 2 to the both sides. Then -2 cancel out. Then you get +2 on the left hand side. Okay. So then you get this simpler equation. Now what? Okay, I have a -x on the left hand side. I don't like it, right? So I have to move -x to the right hand side. If I move to the right hand side, I needed to change the sign. Okay, I need to change the sign. Then I get 5x. So 9 equals 5x. Both sides have to divide by 5. So 5.
So 9 over 5 equals x.
Yeah. So that is the answer.
Oh,
Okay. Because at the very beginning I decided to put a constant on the left hand side. That's the reason I end up with x on the right hand side. It's really not a big deal, but it's up to you. The answer will be x equals 9 over 5. Okay. Of course, it's It's maybe it's 1.8, but we don't write a decimal number. Okay. So I got 3 different answers or 5 different.
Okay, now I know how.
Right, let's do another problem. And you know how to do it? Are you sure? Okay, so let's see. Negative, 3 minus 2x equals 4 minus 3x. Yes.
Is the answer going to be a fraction?
Maybe. I cannot tell his answer is fraction. All right, so when you get the answer, if you have a time, you double check the answer. When you plug the number you got to the both sides, you should get the same number. Especially when you get the integer, it's easy to check. You get fractions, yeah, it's difficult.
-1/5.
Okay, okay, how many wrong answers you gave to me?
No.
Okay, it's okay, yeah, keep it doing.
Well, x equals 1.
Yeah,
Is it? Yeah. It's I got -1/5.
all right. Any different answers?
Oh my God.
Any different answers? Yeah, when you get the 1, just plug in 1 for x to the both sides. And it's clearly both sides equal to each other, right? So that is a solution. So you should feel very confident. Hey, 1 is a solution. Okay? Yeah. But let's find out before we get this answer. Okay? So I like to move -3 over to the left-hand side and then move 3 to the right-hand side. So I get 3x minus 2x and 4 minus 3. I have to change the sign every time when we do that. Okay? So now why you get 5? Because you forgot to change the sign. Okay? When you move the term to the ones across the equality, you forgot to change the sign.
Oh.
That's why you get 5. Okay? So this will be x, not 5x, or negative 5x.
What?
Okay? Yeah, the answer is 1. Then you can check that because when you get an integer, it's easy to check. When you get an integer, it's easy to check. You plug a 1 for x, and you get both sides, check, right? You can check 3 to here, right? It's a 1. And the right-hand side is a 4 minus 3 is also equal to 1. So those are equal, right? They're equal. So that's why they're the answers. Okay, this is answer, okay? So when you do the homework, don't look at the answer key, okay? And I know you're gonna get all the answers. Then check it and tell me how many mistakes you make in the first round. Okay, and you figured out your mistakes and you're trying to avoid that. Okay. Okay. So you have to gradually, practice enough problems, and gradually you build up a good habit. When you move the term across the equality, don't forget change the sign. Yes. Okay. So that will be 3 minus 4x equals x plus 2. Okay, let's do this. Mm-hmm. Okay, William Ma, what's your answer? What's your answer?
5.
5. Okay. So we get 2 different answers now.
Wait, hold on. I'm still over 5.
Okay. Do you have answer? No, you're not working on the problem. Yes. 1/5.
Yeah.
So you got 1/5? Are you sure?
Wait, I got 1/5.
All right. So okay. So we do have a 1 and 1/5, right? Get 2 different answers. Okay. So let's see. I move x to the left hand side. So right, step by step, if you don't like, you know, and then I only have a 2 on the right hand side. I simplify. -4 minus 1. Remember, -4 minus 1. -4 minus 1 is going to be -4 plus 1. It's -5. Okay. So 3 minus 5x equals 2. Then I have to move 3 over to the right hand side. So -5x equals 2 minus 3, which is -1. Then on both sides have to divide by -5. You know, you can if you don't want to skip steps, that's how you get it, right? Right. Then -5 cancel out. You get x equals. You have 2 negative signs so there. You just equal to 1/5. Right. So that's the answer. Now it's difficult to check the answers because it's a fraction. Okay, so just be careful when you go, you know, when you get an answer, when you go through step by step. Right? If you show all the details and the answer is wrong, and maybe your mom or dad can quickly figure out which step you make mistakes. Okay, so you have to show all those steps clearly. Okay, and you have to learn how to do that, because I keep telling you, when you get to college, okay, and the problems get more complicated. So if under the time pressure during the exam, it's harder to get the right answers immediately. Sometimes just halfway done, you already no time left. So if you show the details, learn how to show the details step by step, then you get partial credits. Okay. Okay. Now, yes. We still have students, you know, making mistakes. So we needed to practice more. Okay. So I have a 2x minus 7 plus 5x equals 3x. Okay, let's try this. So now I have a 2 terms containing x on the left side. Okay. Okay, you are younger than your sister, or you are older than your sister? Younger. Okay, younger sister always give me the answer first. Okay, 7/9. Are you sure? Okay.
7/4.
And now you have 2 different answers. 7/9 and 7/4.
If 4x 7/4.
Yeah.
X equals 7/4.
You do not change the sign.
Yeah. X equals 7 divided by 4, 7/4. Same thing.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm 100% sure.
Okay, good. All right, so let's do step by step. Okay, 2x plus 5x. These 2 terms group together, right?
Yes.
It'll be 7x minus 7 equals 3x. That's the first step. Okay. Then I move 7 over to the right-hand side. So I get 7x equals 3x plus 7. Change the sign. Okay. Then 3x is moved to the left-hand side. So 7x minus 3x equals 7. So 7 minus 3, 4x. Okay. Then x is going to be 7 over 4. 7 over 4 is right answer. Okay. Okay, good. Now, if you keep getting all the correct answers in the classroom, I guess you don't even do the homework. Okay. Of course, you still should try. But if you sometimes make mistakes or still couldn't figure it out, and some problems, you really should complete the homework. Yes?
Right now, are we doing the past lessons problems or are we doing linear equation problems?
We're doing linear equation
Linear
problem.
equation
It's an equation. When you say equation, it means you have equality there. Okay? Of course, this will rely on what you learned in the last class.
Expression.
Yeah, linear expression, how to simplify linear expressions. Okay? And, all right. So, now you have 2 minus 3, 1 minus x equals 5x. Okay, let me show you this. Now, look at the left-hand side. This is a linear expression, right? I asked you to, in the last class, I asked you to how to simplify the linear expression. So this is a place we have to do that. Okay, so it's 2, 3 times 1, minus, say, negative 3 times 1, negative 3. But negative 3 times negative x will be positive x. Okay, so that's the first step. Okay, then you simplify the linear expression on the left-hand side. It's negative 1 plus 3x equals 5x. Now, in this case, to save time, I move 3x over to the right-hand side. Okay? Otherwise, I have to move negative 1 to the right-hand side, move 5x. That's just too many steps. So the best way to do it is just move 3x to the right-hand side. Okay? Then you get 5x minus 3x. And 5 minus 3 is 2. So you got 2x. Then you both sides you divide by 2. So it's negative 1/2 equals x. So this is the answer. Okay? Yeah. So if you get different answers from my answer key, then you go back to check. Sometimes the common mistakes here is maybe the first step. Okay, you forgot to change the sign when you remove the parentheses. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you to do the problem. Okay. So 4 minus 2, 2 minus 5x equals 4x. Yeah, please do this. Step 1, simplify the expression on the left-hand side. Then the rest of them, it's just like the previous examples. What's the answer? No, don't look at it. Look, I'm looking at it.
Negative 4. X is 0.
Okay, William Ma, what's the answer? All right, so step by step, right? 4, negative 2 times 2 is negative 4, right?
Yep.
and -2 times 5x. Negative 5, it's positive 10x. Okay, negative become positive. It's here 4x. That's the first step, right? So then left hand side just 10x equals 4x. Okay, how do you solve this equation, right? So you move 4x to the left hand side. Then you get 6x equals 0. Then x must be 0. Okay, 0 is the answer. Yeah, 0 is the answer. Okay. Now sometimes there is no solution even. It's possible. Right. So let's do this. Yeah. Okay. X minus 2, 3 minus 4x equals 1. You will get a fraction this time. Just be careful when after you remove the parentheses and the group of like terms, simplify the expression.
Yeah, 7/9.
7/9?
Yeah. X equals 7/9.
All right, so x minus, this is a 6, right?
Yeah.
And that will be positive 8x equals 1. Okay, that's the first step. Then x plus 8x will be 9x.
Equals 7.
Okay,
Yes,
so then I move 6 over to the right hand side. So I get 7, right?
Yeah.
So 6 plus 1 is 7. Then x is going to be 7/9. Okay, good. Hey, oops. I accidentally touched this someplace. Okay, sorry for that. All right, so the next problem is 2x minus 1 minus x equals 3x. Okay, good. So I'll let you try first. Okay, give me the answer.
Minus 1/2. Wait, minus 1/2. Negative 1/2. Negative 1/2.
See, I'm getting different answers now.
Yeah, negative 1/2. Negative 1/2.
Negative 1/2?
Yeah.
Any Kennys?
Negative 1/2.
You?
Negative 1/2.
Are you sure you got it by yourself? It's not like a president election, okay? If you get more votes, you get the right answer. The truth may be, in some very few people's hands. Right, let's do it. Right, so 2x minus 1, and here's plus x, right? Now negative become positive. It's a 3x. So the left-hand side will be 3x minus 1 equals 3x. Got it? So I have to move either 3x to the right-hand side, or I can do like that, okay, save time. So I get a negative 1 equals 3x minus 3x, right? So that's going to be 0. So in other words, negative 1 equals 0, right? I didn't see any x here at the end. How do you get negative 1/2? Okay, so what does that mean? That means if the original equation holds for some number x, you will get following conclusion, negative 1 equals 0. And clearly it's impossible, right? Impossible means your assumption is wrong at the very beginning. When you're trying to solve the equation, you assume there are some numbers satisfying that equation. Under that assumption, you perform some algebraic, operations and simplify the equation. At the end, you get a contradiction. That means when you get a contradiction, then assumption is wrong. There's no such solution exists. So no solution. Okay, in the world, there is no such number satisfying the above equation, 2x minus.
What did you do with that x between the second one and the first? It got subtracted.
Yeah.
Because if you do the negative one, you move it over there, and then.
Yeah, you see, anyway, you get the second step, you get 3x. So the right-hand side is also 3x. 3x will be gone. Yeah. So you end up with negative 1 equals 0. And that's impossible. You know that. It's impossible. So that means your assumption is wrong. There's no such x there. Otherwise, you get negative 1 equals 0. Okay, so there's a possibility no solution. Okay, now sometimes there's a possibility you get infinite many solutions even for the linear equations. Okay. Yeah, no solution. Okay. Yeah. So let's do next one. 3 minus 2x equals 5 minus 2 plus 2x.
I still don't get what happened to that x. I still don't get the previous question, where did the x go?
Oh, you still don't get it? Where's the x go? X is gone, when you simplify the expression. 3x minus 3x, it's gone. It's 0. Disappeared.
Wait, if you subtract, if this is plus and this is subtract, is it still
yeah, let's
addition or is it still subtraction? I forgot.
So let's look at this problem. Yeah, you have answer?
0.
You get 0.
1.
1. I have 2 different answers.
No solution.
No, so 3 answers. She couldn't find a solution. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Yes.
1.
1. So far we have 3 different answers. How about the girls sitting over there? Do you have answers? No? No? What's the answer? No? All right, so this is a simple equation, but just like a new type of equation, right? Let's do simplify first. It's a 5. It's negative 2, negative 2x. So on the left-hand side, on right-hand side, I got 5 minus 2 is 3. Okay, and then I look at both sides, I find out they're all the same.
It's no solution.
Right? So this means, okay, now you can simplify. You can say, okay, I'm going to move 3 to here, move that to there. So I get 3 minus 3, and the 2x minus 2x, then I get 0 equals 0. No contradiction, right? Okay, so that means no matter which value you assign to the x, both sides must be equal. Okay? Doesn't matter. X could be 100, 1 billion, 1 trillion, doesn't matter. If you plug that number for x into the both sides of the equation, they are equal. So that means any number is a solution. Yeah, x could be any number. Okay? So any real number is a solution. Okay? So how many real numbers are infinite many, right? So it has infinite many solutions. This is always true, regardless of value of x. Okay? Both sides are equal. Okay? So this is a new problem, you see? And I don't know how if you don't make mistakes, you will not come to the conclusion x equals 1 or something like that. Okay? You end up with 0 equals 0. All right, so now let's try a different problem. X minus 3 and 1 minus 2x equals 2 minus x. Okay, let's work on this. Don't make mistakes. Okay, be careful, step by step. Okay. Step 1, simplify the expression on the left-hand side. Step 2, move the like terms to the one side. Okay, separate them. All right.
Five, 6. 5, 8.
So you talk to each other, okay? Which one is wrong? All right. 5 8.
Oh, I got negative 5, 6.
So I have 3 different answers now. Okay, only one answer may be correct, right? Clear. You cannot have 3 different answers correct. It's easy to make mistakes when you simplify the expression, right?
Is it negative 5, 6? Negative 5, 6.
Negative 5 6. Kenny's?
Negative 5, 6. Yeah.
All right, let's see. X minus, step by step, right? 3. And the 3, negative 3 times 2, negative 2, 6x. Okay. The first step, and x plus 6x, you can simplify, right? It's a 7x minus 3 equals 2 minus x. Okay, so you move x to the left-hand side, move 3 to the right-hand side. So 7x plus x, 2 plus 3. So you get 8x and the 5. Okay?
5 eighths?
Yeah.
You probably forgot so long. Well, in the parentheses.
I think you forgot the negative sign
Yeah.
on x on the right-hand side.
Yeah, that's what I did.
So when you move negative x to the right-hand side, left-hand side, you change the sign. Okay? You cannot like x and negative x cancel out. You see, on the left-hand side, yes, there is x there. On the right-hand side, there is negative x. And those two cannot be just canceled out.
Yeah, but the negative x minus negative x equals 0.
Yeah, so it's going to be 5 over 8. Okay? Yeah, just be careful when you do the competition. Okay? So let's see, 1 minus x. So I can predict when you do the homework, don't look at answer key. You know, maybe you 15 problems, you missed 5. It's possible. But trying to reduce that number, you know how to do the problem. Just be careful, okay? When you do the competition. So 1 minus x, and this here is 2, 1 minus, yeah, x equals 4 minus 3x. Yeah, why we have to study those linear equations? Because in the near future, we're going to learn how to solve a story problem. With a story problem, you will set up a linear equation like that, and you have to solve. So we have to practice first, you know, okay? There's a certain rules you have to follow. You already have an answer? You're working on the problem? No?
No solution.
Somebody said no solution. How about you? Why you say 1? Maybe she got a 1.
No solution.
Solution. Benjamin, do you have answer? William?
1/6. 1/6.
1/6? 1 over 6? So we have 3 different answers now.
Oh, 1/2.
You get 1/2. You give me 4 answers for some. All right, so I can see that when you get a homework assignment,
Which one's right?
okay, I'm pretty sure you get 10 out of 15 correct, maybe. Okay, even there's 2 sisters in front of it. Okay, you're not getting. I cannot guarantee you get 100% correct. But write down all the details, and then when you get the answer is wrong answer, and you go back to find out the mistakes by yourself first. Okay, if you still cannot figure out why there's a mistake, then you can ask your parents to check. Okay. All right, so let's do this. 1 minus x. Step 1, you get rid of the parentheses. That's 2. Then minus 2x equals 4 minus 3x. Okay, so 1 plus 2 is 3. Negative x minus 2x is negative 3x. Okay, and then you look at both sides, you will see that you can move this to the left-hand side, move 1 to the right-hand side. So 3x minus 3x equals 4 minus 3. You have to change the sign always, from negative 3x to the positive 3x. All right, so you get 0 equals 1. What does that mean? Impossible. So that means no solution. That's it. Right, we said that, right? No solution. Okay, so when you get a solution, okay, and my answer key says no solution, you go back to check your work by yourself, okay, or redo the problem. But you have to really find out the mistakes you make, okay? Then if you can figure it out by yourself, you can avoid such mistakes later. So we stop here and see you next time, next week.